Anyways, we'll go back to being a homosexual rat today. Let's go, chat. Down for me. All right. Let me get into this. I didn't have much of an intro because, like, I don't know. I'm just excited to be a rat. Oh. Okay, wait, guys. I have to show you all the work that I've put into the house so far. So, I did some yeah, thank you so much for the Prime. I did some, like, off-camera building because, believe it or not, it is really hard to build when you are a rat. And it takes a really long time. So, is my FOV is wrong? There we go. So, like, you come in here. This is like the main house, right? You look like you clap when the plane lands. What did I do to you? What did I do to you? What? Anyways, bro, I'm just existing. I think that was an insult. Oh my god. Anyways. I'm building all of an office right now, so that's what this is, and there's supposed to be like storage here for their stuff. And I don't know, today I'm gonna probably work on some bedrooms and stuff like that. However, chat, I need to go downstairs into the big scary house so that I can get more supplies because I am kind of running out, and I also want more blocks to build with because my whole idea is that I'm gonna make this into like a bookshelf. Oh my god, hi Amy Raiders. Wait. I got a great. Okay, wait. How do I mute myself? I don't know. First, let me just say hi. Hello, Amy Raiders. Hello, I'm Snifferish. If you don't know who I am, I'm cool and also a homosexual. I also use any pronouns. I am currently playing on the RatsSMP, which is this SMP where we are tiny little rats and we live in this huge house and we have to collect materials, but there's giant humans that can attack us and put us in cages. It's very fun. It also has proximity chat, so you might hear me talking with some other streamers who you know. But welcome, welcome. I was just showing chat my lovely little rat house. See, wait till it picks up again. So this is, look, for reference, here's how tiny I am. Like here, wait, here's me next to a crafting table. And this is my little rat house. We have some gay lore here. Olive and I are roommates. You know when that happens when you're like roommates? You know? So anyways, I was gonna go find people because I'm gonna do a big scary and go into the big house. And also, you might hear me refer to you guys as fleas, and that's because in this SMP, my chat is canonically my rat fleas, so welcome. Oh man, okay wait, there's actually, I don't know where Olive is. Wait, let me message them. Where are you? There we go. Plague, let's go! Yeah, so right now I'm gonna go downstairs and see if I can find some more, like, supplies, and stuff. Also, Olive is in the hallways. I'm gonna see if I can find some more supplies and stuff because I want more building supplies. Because I want different materials so that I can make, like, fill the bookshelf right here with all kinds of books. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can go save Olive. Wait, here, let me put on my rap music. I've got this, like, this vibe of rap music that I need. Wait, here, let me put this on. Doo-doo. Thank you. Sif is literally living in someone's walls. Yeah, I'm living in the attic. You know how it is. There's a bunch of really cool people in this SMP, by the way, if you would like to also check them out. They're really kind. They have a communal food chest. So I just take all the communal food. Okay, so Olive says they're in the hallways, which means that I have to get down here. Oh gosh. I don't see their name tag anywhere, which is kind of freaking me out. We're coming back to the attic to get you. I'm in the bathroom. Wait. Oh. Oh god. You don't think he sees me, right? Oh god. I'm not here. King. So yeah, there's giant humans and they can catch you and put you in cages. It's terrifying. Well, pronouns does Olive use? Olive uses any with Oh!
Okay.
Hello there, Sniffer Rats. My
Hello.
name is Sir
Sniffer Rats.
Quackington, and
My
this
name is Frogiver. I am a frog.
and I am a quack.
Hello,
Very,
Sniffer Rats.
very pleased to meet you, Sniffer Rat.
There was
Pleased to
a big
meet ya.
there was a big guy over there.
Yes, there was a rather large fellow
We
over
are
there
well
next to the,
acquainted.
next to the bathroom
Snifferish, I
entrance.
have so many cool
Yes, we do
blocks
have
in my
limited
inventory.
lives.
I'm gonna deposit them,
Wait,
and then you're gonna
yeah.
come with us on an adventure.
Yes, because I want more cool blocks.
Oh, I have so many cool blocks. I'll put them in the chest, and you can see
Okay.
all the different colors I
Would
got
you
for
like
us.
a hat like us? Maybe you could be a part of our crew.
Sure. What do you have?
Hat.
We don't have one for you right now.
you're gonna have to-
We would have to
Oh,
adventure.
is
out
it
Yeah,
like
we're gonna
a
adventure and
is it-
find you a hat. It's initiation ceremony. You must
Oh.
find a hat.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I just crawled all the way back down here and I have to crawl all the way back up.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's good exercise.
Good
I'm not-
exercise for the
Dude,
bones and
I'm
stuff.
Leg day.
it's
Leg day.
but dude, let me be
It
a
would be very unfortunate if someone here had asthma.
I'm kind of just a I'm kind of a chubby wood rat, so maybe I mean
Sniff. I have some good food for you too. I
would
think
you
will
still love
enjoy.
me if I was a chubby wood rat?
We would always
Of
love you
course,
if you were a
Sniffer
chubby wood
Rats.
rat.
Thank
are
you.
so
Of
lovely,
course, my
Sniffer Rat.
favorite chubby wood rat. Sniffer Rats, how do we get back home? I am
Oh,
lost.
it's I think it's this way.
Sniff, I need you to know, I have never gone through like the front door to get back to home. I always go through Elle's window and climb on the balcony into the office.
Should I just like make like a giant arrow that like
Yeah.
points down?
Like a glowing Broadway sign, because I always climb into the window like
glowing
a rat,
Broadway
literally.
That's awesome.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
Sniff, look in this barrel. The bottom one.
Okay, I'm looking. Oh, so many
Oh,
wool.
yeah, here you go.
This is perfect. I was literally
Also, if you want some of these at all, bam.
Hold on, I'm
bam.
gonna add some more
yeah.
stuff outside.
Well, so Oliver, did you see the office I made you?
Ooh.
Sniff, I did, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah. So the whole point, I was like, I wanted more wool so that I could like make books on the shelf.
I saw you
my
were
God.
working on them. Sniff, this genuinely looks so incredible. Like, I don't
This
know
is
how
so,
you
so
pulled
good.
this off. It looks amazing.
I like to build.
Sir Quack will
And like
now
the open,
stand
Sniff, this is the
in
open
this-
window that I climb in through to get in.
Wait, 1 second. So, chat, just so you know, canonically, my character
and
doesn't
then,
know how to read.
Sir
and so,
Quackington,
right now,
do remind
Olive
me
is,
to
like,
deposit
not
the
right now,
butler
but
back
eventually
into the,
Olive is going to teach me how to
yes,
read.
yes. I shall do that for you if you'd like me to.
Yes, here you go.
Yes, the Sir Quack will do that right now. I will meet
Thank you.
guys back in a second. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So,
This is so
Oh,
cool.
it's so lovely.
sorry, I can't take you seriously with that thing on.
Oh, hold on. Hello, my name is Oliver, and I am a rat, and not a frog. It was a lie, a trick.
I was deceived!
Welcome to my office. Welcome to my office.
Yeah, we can't sit, so you'll just have to crouch. The desk is really large. I'm sorry. It's so hard to do
No,
anything to
this is-
scale. But then there's also,
No, this is so cool.
this is for you to store stuff, obviously.
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
I just put a bunch of stuff in the barrel outside.
Yes, there is lore, chat. Okay, so by the way, I'm thinking, other than your office down here, I'm gonna build our room, like, up here. Who put this here? Yeah, I saw this. You brought me a toilet paper roll? You brought me a toilet paper roll?
I did. I thought I wanted to give like a housewarming gift, so.
Just make sure you don't suffocate with this. It would be very, very important.
Suffocate on
I'm
toilet
sorry.
paper?
You can suffocate.
Yeah.
With
On toilet
well,
paper.
Like in the roleplay sense, if you put it on your head, if someone has like tried like almost suffocate.
Oh. Oh no.
Okay,
Oh.
So don't put that on
Yeah,
your
don't-
head. We're gonna
don't
find
put
you
it
a
on your
nice
head.
hat, Sniff, and you can join our hat. gang.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
We're
yes,
gonna
yes.
go on an adventure and find more building materials for us.
Yes.
Let me put a couple more things away.
Plus, I have a bunch of new people with me today, and they want to see what the house
Oh,
looks
you do?
like. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Which
Do
I'm
a
very.
show.
I like to steal things from the house. I'm a
Ah,
very.
yes, we're gonna steal somebody.
Yeah.
Let's steal. Let's steal.
Let's
Let's
steal.
See, you guys are the only guys in the rat attic that is okay with the fact that I'm just literally a klepto, and I love you for that.
Hey.
Let's
We're
steal. We'll
proud of you
enable
being
you.
a
We'll
klepto.
enable.
This might be toxic, but we'll enable you.
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll enable your bad behaviors because that's what friends are for.
We are the enabler squad.
That's. Oh god.
Enabler squad, roll out.
Oh god.
Be good.
Let's go and help the kleptomaniacs steal. We're all on a nice adventure.
The support group.
I also
Sorry,
just
I
need
fell.
more food constantly.
Oh yes. Do you actually need food right now?
I do, but I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm just so much hungrier than you guys, like, all the time.
It's.
Here, I have the gift for you.
You are a hard at work builder. So
Yeah,
that does make sense.
Sniff, this is something very special that I've been using as a bargaining chip for most people who hate me. But for
What? Who hates you? I'll beat them up. I will eat their children.
it's,
I think
you know,
I think Tub Rat's already taken care of that one.
It's Tub Rat?
No.
No.
I have no qualms with Tub Rat. It's
Then who's-
some
Tub
other.
Rat has
who's
rat
being mean to
bees,
you?
though, and he thinks he ate children.
You know what? It's Sniff. You don't need to worry yourself
whole
about it. It's okay. It's all good.
But you're
But I
my
give
roommate!
And because you are my lovely roommate and I love you so much, I'm going to give you noodles.
What is this?
Noodles.
Oh,
Noodles.
Did you? Who took the noodle? Oh, that was me.
I'm sorry,
I'm gonna give you
what?
Noodles.
What?
Oh my god, noodles!
Noodle soup. Noodle soup.
Thanks for the
noodles.
soup?
And look, the noodle soup will give you 5 minutes of comfort.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, I
my
can't eat
God.
it yet. I can't eat it yet, though.
When you are feeling sad and down and I'm not around to comfort you, just eat the noodle
Aw.
soup and it'll give you 5 minutes of comfort.
Okay.
Only 5 minutes.
Only 5
More, no
minutes?
less.
I'm not allowed to have any more than 5 minutes.
Only
No.
5 minutes of comfort per
If you
soup.
have more than 5 minutes, I'll kill you till you're dead.
In game? Oh god. Okay, anyways.
Listen, nope. Sir
That
Quack
is a Sir Quack
correct.
promise. That is a Sir Quack. Yes.
How do
We're
we-
going to find you
Ooh.
a hat.
I want blocks.
Blocks.
Okay.
Okay. We'll
All
try
right,
to
Sir
find-
Quack.
Wait, over here.
Lead the way.
I shall lead the way. Yes.
Wait,
yes.
sorry. Where, okay, I'm here.
Wackington.
I heard this place has like some cool stuff. You can steal
I don't
from
know
it.
which which
19
stores are
months straight, and it's
open
new for
today.
It just,
Um,
I guess, it depends
We're
on the
trying
day.
to learn. We're keeping track.
The chests are empty.
Yeah, most. Oops, I'm trying to. Is there anything up?
Oh, what's this?
Oh! We're in the mud! I'm in the mud again! I'm in the mud!
Oh, you're in the mud. You're a mud rat. Can I be
Can
the
I
mud?
can I have it? Ah!
Oh no!
Can I have it? Can I have?
Yes. Take this.
Wait, do you
Wait,
have
are
the
we
pot?
gonna steal plants?
I don't know if we should.
Fine, I'll put it back.
I saw some ones
Update,
we
I
probably
can't put it
steal,
back.
though. Here, give it to me.
What's this?
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, no. Okay. Well, since you can't put it back, it's yours now.
Is this? Oh, this is
Yeah,
an incense
congrats.
burner.
An
There you go.
incense burner.
Yay!
Pretty
that's so
sophisticated for a
fancy.
wood rat. How do you know what an incense burner is?
Look,
I've met some witches in my time, you know.
You've met
wait,
witches.
you met
Are they-
witches?
Are they like in the storybooks? Do they eat
Are
children?
they real? Martin,
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're
a
witches,
human who
but
got
every
turned into a rat because he doesn't like me and he's mean to me.
I was accused for ratnomancy.
what?
I was accused of being
What's-
a human in disguise,
Yeah.
which
oh.
is not real.
Well, I don't know. There was just this giant human lady that used to hang out in the woods sometimes.
Oh, really?
Oh.
And she like did
Hey!
magic stuff?
We found a human
I don't know. She was
lady
always
who
like
likes to
picking
hang out.
stuff. What?
Yeah. Oh, we did find a human lady that likes
We
to
found
hang
a
out
human
and
lady, and
stuff.
I touched her foot, and she was okay.
Yeah, I touched her feet,
I
too.
was holding
You
on to her shoe
touched
with my little. Yeah, and she's really nice. She doesn't hurt you. I was
We
holding
touched
on
the
to her
feet.
shoe with my little paw, and she didn't kick me.
Yeah. I even hit her.
I don't know if I like that.
Or
I don't know if I like that.
Unethical.
I don't know if I like
no, like
that.
no, I like.
Wait, you hit a woman?
Apple, do you? And they were never seen again.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh wow, I really think I fainted there. Oh no.
Did you? Oh no, King, you blacked out. King.
You blacked out for a second there. How are you? You feeling okay? You feeling all back to normal?
Yeah.
Look at the teddy bear up
You
here.
wanna hit anyone?
I gave the human a rat tap. Okay, that's it.
You give her a little high
You
five.
slapped her quite violently.
Yeah, exactly.
There's stuff. There's two brown flags in that chest up there.
Wait, flags?
Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Banners.
Ooh, I cannot get up there. Oh wait, there's another chest over here.
Oh, I don't. Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there's nothing in here. Ooh, it closed on me.
We can decorate with this.
19 months with the beloved Sniff.
We should make like a
Thank
banner design
you.
for the attic.
Yeah, I guess we could do
Was there
something with
anything
that.
up there?
There was nothing.
Oh.
Y'all, not to make you alarmed,
one
I
banner.
do think that I hear footsteps though.
What do you mean
Do
you
you?
hear footsteps?
Oh, I don't know.
Like here.
I just get worried. I get paranoid, okay?
Oh, that's
Hey,
okay.
no, that's valid.
We will.
I mean,
we will be safe, and it will be
I
all
think
okay.
you're like in the attic a lot, and like coming down here is a little scary, right?
What do you mean I'm in the attic a lot? What do you mean by that?
You just
Yeah,
like
attic a
building,
lot.
you know?
Did you just call me a shut-in?
Which is good.
It's just, dude, we're streamers. We're all shut in.
We're all introverts here.
I'm sorry, I'm
What
a
is
rat.
outside-
What's a
Oh,
streamer?
sorry.
Wait, can you guys leave
it's
for
when
rats?
you share your rat life to the ratternet, and then
Wait, I left the banner.
other
Where?
rats and
Where's-
fleas.
Where's
My mommy
banner?
told me not to talk to people on the ratternet.
Oh.
Yeah, true.
Thank
They're
you,
kind of
please.
weird
I'm
usually.
Stupid. Thank you.
Okay, I think if we can parkour a little, we can reach a area that's probably not been explored yet.
Where?
Let's do it.
Where?
Oh, and can I wanna
Oh,
show you
wait,
guys a
wait,
cool
wait,
view
wait,
if you
wait.
guys haven't seen it yet.
Actually, there is something I did find the other day. Here, come with me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you found something?
Well, okay, it might be open now, but I found a secret tunnel that led to a closed-off room.
I'm gonna keep my
Oh.
knife out to
Is it-
defend us.
Is in the grandma's room.
No, it's not.
Do you
Oh,
want to
okay.
see the grandma? She's so nice.
Pretty cool.
I'll
She
pass.
She doesn't try to run away or towards you. She just stands there, which is
Yeah,
weird.
look, she's
Humans
over there.
usually do.
Ah!
Oh my god, that was so close! That's not the nice human! That's a bad one! Who is that? I'm gonna hit you! I'm gonna hit
Are
you!
you guys okay?
Oh wait, the grandma's over there! Look, she's the nice one over there in the rainbow sweater. Who's this? Oh, that's the mom.
Oh my god. Well, can she tell her daughter not to attack us?
No, she doesn't do much. She's like geriatric.
Oh no.
Okay, I think we can go. I think we can go.
Run, no.
This way, this way.
Go, get out here. Go. That was close.
Wait, the door at the end of the hallway is open finally. Oh no, there's two people right there. Oh!
Oh my god, it's a kid! It's that kid! He steals utensils!
This is so bad. We're not in a good position
So
here.
bad. Why are all the humans out?
Ah!
No, Oppo, run!
Sir Crackington!
Oh
It's okay,
gosh.
they're fine. Okay, okay, hold on. Let's wait for the mom. Okay, Sniff, we just gotta go. We gotta make a break for it.
Okay.
He will. Yes, he will. Hi.
What? How did you?
Oh, hi.
What?
There was like a little. Oh.
I'm
What?
magical.
Oh yeah.
What is back here?
There was a fire
a
back here
secret.
that we had to put out,
Yeah.
and I don't
we had
know.
to put
why.
it
Huh?
there. Uh-huh.
Hey.
Okay, so where do you? So it was over here, by the way. What is it?
Wait, Apple. Why is there like? It looks like I don't have a torch or anything. Does this look like a rat-sized shelf?
It kind of does look like a rat's eye shop.
Why does it look like a rat-sized shelf in
mean,
a
maybe-
place that's not the attic?
Maybe
And
this
also-
is where rats hide.
Oh, like a
Why
little
is
hi-
it in the
wait,
grandma's room?
Apple, what is this? What is this
Huh?
supposed to be? Help me.
Rat juice.
What?
Rat juice.
Rat.
I mean,
Do you
only
think
rats could
rats
get
used
back
to-
here.
Do you think rats used to live here? This looks like rats
think
used
so.
to live here. Look at
It-
like
it-
how large
I don't.
the
I don't.
space is.
Yeah. I mean,
And look
here,
at the
let's go look at the.
structures.
Let's go look at the grandma real quick.
Yeah. Maybe rats used to live here. Maybe that's why she understands that we're just rats living our life and she's not hurting us.
So you're sure she won't attack us?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna touch her shoe. Look, I'm putting my paw on her shoe and she doesn't hurt me.
This is the person I hit.
Stop hitting woman.
She looks kind.
I didn't mean to. She looks what?
Yeah,
She looks kind.
She does.
Yeah, she
you
does.
see, she's a nice human. I've never been this close to one before. She's nice.
Oh,
What?
Sorry.
What?
She
What?
looked at you. I just freaked me out.
Yeah,
No,
it
no, she's
freaks
just
me out
being
as
nice.
well.
She's just being sweet.
Well, I want to see if I can still get to that secret room that I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's look for that. Wait, what's going on up over
Did
here?
we leave her stuff?
Wait, did you guys see that there's a chiseled
Oh,
glass?
Can we leave her stuff?
Yeah, let's leave her some things.
Wait,
Can I
where?
I want to leave her a carrot top and 2 sweet berries.
Wait, can I leave her a message?
I'm gonna leave
I don't
her
think it's best
some
to
gold
communicate
nuggets.
What is
with the
happening?
humans right now.
But what? Oh,
Rats
It might be a
SMP,
little-
baby.
Just if they know
what-
we're like sentient, you know.
What
Guys,
if
we
I
should-
give her my? What if I give her my last nude? Oh, soup.
You're white. Yeah,
You're
sure.
what?
Yeah, you can do that.
It'll give her 5 minutes of comfort.
Twice. That's how.
We should head.
Alright.
We should leave soon because the mom might come
should
back
leave.
in though.
Yeah, let's go through the secret way. Probably.
I gave
That's
her
the-
my last noodle soup, and I'm probably gonna regret that.
Okay, we'll
For
do that.
anymore. Don't have
Ah.
no more noodle soup.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
I mean,
This-
your fleas will
it's-
give you comfort.
this way.
Oh, that's true. My fleas love giving me comfort, right, fleas?
Yeah. Comfort, please.
Oh. Okay, so one small issue.
What?
What's this small issue?
There's 2 humans hanging out in the hallway.
Oh, run, run,
Oh gosh.
Oh.
run, Sniff!
Who?
Ah,
Oh,
oh, Jesus!
he almost got you. Holy
He
cow.
almost got me. He almost got me. You see, your legs are so much taller, longer than mine. Sniff, you were bounds ahead of me. Be careful, Sniff. The humans
Oh
are
my
really,
God.
really fast, and they have no mercy.
Appo, how are you all the way over there?
He didn't chase me. He went after you guys. And now I'm kind of too scared to move a little.
Oh, no! Oh my god! Oh no! Oh,
Apple
you!
will help us. Apple's really good at saving people. Apple will help us. Don't worry.
I'm so idiotic.
Holy shoot. The child really got us, huh?
Sniff, sniff,
The
sniff,
child
sniff.
of all
Thank
people.
you for the 2 months. Oh, the child, the freaking good child, was touching us with his greasy ass
Hey,
hands.
Sniff, hey, Sniff. I guess we're jailmates.
Yeah, you could say that, I guess.
yeah. We're still roommates,
So-
just in a different location.
Seeing as how we're gonna die, it's time to
No.
confess our greatest sins.
We're gonna confess, but I don't think.
Ah!
Are you getting
Thank
chased?
you. Now I don't have to admit
There
my
we go.
greatest sins.
What?
Okay.
Damn, I'm so close. Huh?
Thank
Okay.
you for saving us, Apple. The child.
What's
got us
this?
in his grubby little
Yeah,
booger
he's
hands.
scary.
It's like a little. This
my
is a little rat house.
Wait. Oh, it's like.
No.
Oh, can we not climb it?
I
Oh,
think
that's
it
so
might
sad.
be a cat
Wait.
house.
Wait.
What's a cat?
Why is there a cat house? Guys, why is there a cat house?
We should leave.
We should.
Am I the only person that doesn't know what a
Should
cat is, or is that like
Sniff a cat. They're
Have you ever
great
seen a
giant
fox?
beasts.
Have you seen a fox, Sniff?
Yeah, of
In the
course.
woods? They're like that, but viciouser.
Oh.
They kill for fun. They ruin.
Did I just lose connection to the? Not the mid-lore losing connection. Wait, here, let me just double check to see if that... Hello? Hello? What is the loud wind? This is not good. That is not good. That is not good. Here, let me double check. I don't know why it won't let me connect chat. Wait. Hello?
Hello? You okay?
Oh,
You just
yeah.
got really scared by the word cat, huh? That's fair.
I'm sorry that we scared you, Sniff. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, there's chests over here. Have we seen these?
What is
Have
this?
we
Yeah.
gotten these chests?
I don't recognize this room. I've never been in here. Be careful of cats, Sniff. You see a giant beast.
Rocks!
Rocks! Oh my god, can we take these, Apple?
I would not take those.
What?
Oh. Is this like their expensive people room?
I think this is the expensive people room, yeah.
Oh, this is the expensive people room.
If we take the
my
rocks, they're
God.
for sure going to notice.
This is my favorite type of room to be in. Is the
But I
expensive
love
people room.
rocks.
I love how we're like frantically searching through all the...
Yeah, because I want to see if I can find some rocks that they don't know about, so I can take them.
Wait, look at that rock up there. Giant purple rock.
I know.
Is there anything to take from the rich?
No, somebody's probably already combed through here.
Gosh darn it, someone got their grubby little rat paws all over here and it wasn't us.
Wait, what's up here? Oh, it's just...
Oh, a fishing rod.
Huh.
That's cool.
Come on, there's got to be other loot we can take somewhere. Come on.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest,
yeah,
I
let's
don't
get out of
think
here.
there's anything in the rich people room.
Yeah,
probably
but
not.
but someplace else.
Incredibly sad.
They're kind of broke for being rich.
Yeah, kind of mid of them. Maybe a skill issue.
I hope you never ever say that again. I'm joking.
Oh,
that was
thank
really
you,
funny.
thank you.
That was
Now
really
I can
funny.
say it again. Skill
Okay.
issue.
There's
Mid,
seriously...
skill
I
issue.
really want more blocks though, so let's see if we can find some
Alright.
rooms that have not been touched.
Hmm.
Have you guys thought about
Rooms
making a map
untouched.
of the house?
I think Owen mentioned it.
Yeah, everyone keeps telling me that Owen's making a map, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, same.
You should
I
have
don't
a conversation with Owen.
Well, the library doesn't... One sec.
Oh, woman!
Oh, suddenly I'm not here. But I want the chest. Hi. Sorry. Oh. Oh. Just gonna pace. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Bro. Are any of them? Oh, there we go. There's one of them.
Rescue, coming to the rescue. Ba-da-bum-bum.
Oh, she saw me.
Yeah, it's fine.
I was going for a chest, and she just yoink.
Hey, but you got out now. It's fine. Oh!
Oh!
Rat rescue, going on a rescue mission for rats. Rat rescue.
But oh my god!
Okay,
Look at
so
my blue light!
oh, so maybe that room is not for us.
No, I got 2 bottles of enchanting in this really cool blue light.
It's good.
Hey,
It's
we
good.
should go back in there. They had cool things.
But there's a
I don't know if
person
it's
there.
true. There is a person.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a blue light. Look at it. Does it look
I
blue
need
for you
blocks.
guys
That's
too?
what I need.
You need blocks.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
there's got to be
What kind of
rooms that
blocks?
I don't know. I just need variety. I need to gather everything and store it in my like attic room so that I can build without having to
Oh,
come
yeah,
down
'cause
here so
you're,
often.
Whatever. the
Wait,
thing
Sniff,
is.
look. That's a pretty cottage core. There's a tea kettle back there.
Ooh! I don't think I can take this, though. Oh,
Sniff.
what?
The humans will notice if their tea kettle's gone.
I feel like if we keep stealing too many things, then, you know.
What happened to enabling me?
Huh?
So what happened to enabling me?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wait,
go
go
steal
back
it.
to the library.
How do I don't even know how to steal it, though.
Yeah.
No, I can't get up there.
Tea kettle would look really cute though in your house. Oh, Sniff.
What?
I said the tea kettle look really cute in your house.
Did you get it? Did you get it?
Got it. It's so tiny in your hand, Apple. That looks
Oh,
so
it's so cute!
You're holding a little tea kettle.
Oh, I want to sleep in it.
Oh, that could be your bed. It's a tea kettle.
A little tea kettle? Ah!
Sorry,
I don't know if we
I
should
did not
take
think
it.
through my actions.
You know what? I'll build my own tea kettle. I don't want them to come after us. If it's gonna put
Yeah.
the rest of us in danger, then...
Good idea. I believe in
But
you. Your
we-
building skills are good.
Oh, I found some wood and a bottle of water.
Ooh, bottle of water.
Bottle of water?
I
Water.
want to go back to the library.
The
There's some
libra-
really cool things in the chest.
Yeah, it's true. There
But
was
I
some
do
cool
know
stuff.
we both got caught there. So it
You
is a
know
big
what? We
danger.
just need to be careful. Just need to be careful. Because
Yeah.
that...
Anyways,
know-
we're running
listen, guys,
straight through the
I
hallway.
know why we keep getting caught.
Why?
Huh.
Because we're not wearing our hats.
Well, I don't
Oh,
have a
that's
hat.
true. Sir,
We need
quack
to-
disguise activated.
We need to get you a hat.
Feel left out.
We'll find one. We'll
We'll
find
take-
one. We'll
there-
find
there-
one.
oh,
It'll
there's
be
a
part of
fox
the-
hat. There's a fox hat in the kids' room.
Ooh.
Oh.
If we end up.
I could be a
going up
book.
No,
You could be a book.
no.
there. Oh.
There was a chest that I
Okay.
didn't get to over here, but I don't know if she's still over here. Oh, no, she's not. Okay. There's chiseled rock, water bottle, an iron sword, and some string.
Oh.
Interesting.
Well, that's great. Where's
Well, I guess-
Oliver?
Oliver?
Oliver.
Oliver! They're over
Oh,
here.
there. Frogiver.
Hey!
Frogiver.
Hello! I got
We
fleas.
should probably try to find. Oh, you got fleas.
Oh, want to try upstairs? Or what were you
I've
gonna
been
say?
up there before, but there's just a
Oh, no
door that
chests.
won't open.
But what if we see if it's open now?
I guess that's a good idea, but still.
Sniff, if there were no humans in this house, I would want to live in the library.
I know. That's why I'm trying to
It's
build you
really-
one, remember?
Oh, you know what? I have your office. It's
I'll
perfect,
make
and it's
you
rat
something this
size.
grand at some point, but it's just hard.
Oh, we'll get so many
I
materials.
feel
for
like that would
Sniff,
take you your
will-
whole life.
Sniff, you'll never want for materials again. I will get all of the materials for you. and I'll
See,
sell
this is
people
this
for
is
money,
the
so
weird
we'll have
door that I
money.
keep seeing.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Is there something here?
No cracks to go through. Is there any cracks like in the bookshelf? Maybe.
I've thought about it and I looked around because I really
Here.
did want to try to crawl in there, but
Apple, are you? Oh my God! Are you all right?
did he fall? Are you okay?
How much damage do you think they took?
Well,
Holy shoot!
one way to find out.
No.
Oh,
Oh!
you okay?
Yeah, actually, that was kind of fun. I was just curious how you did that, but
Yeah,
Oliver is
wow.
still up there, but I don't know if they're gonna come down or what the deal is there.
Hopefully they do. Oh yeah, they're making their way downtown.
Safer, I guess.
They're walking pretty fast. base is passed and they're coming homebound. Oh, there he is. There they are.
I took the same. How much fall damage did you take? You just jumped down like a mile.
I was actually pretty okay. I was pretty okay.
I simply could not. You guys are risk takers.
I can't give myself any more brain damage than I already have, so.
You gotta. That's why we need to get you a hat, like a little helmet to protect your
Yeah,
head.
protect.
Oh, what about this desk over here? Is there anything at the desk?
I think we've pretty
The
much looked at
writing desks.
everything.
Oh, we looked at everything already?
Yeah, there's no more chests in here, so I think we should just move on.
Yeah, we should go.
Okay. Like cool right
Oh.
station
Go.
things.
Onto
Oliver
the
gets
bench
distracted
to
easily.
the
Oh, it's like going to a
They're trying their
stationery
best.
shop and you see all of like the papers. Oh, it's so yummy.
Oh,
Think of
this
all the
door is
important documents
closed.
you can eat.
And
I feel like I'd rather read than important documents.
But you read them and then you eat them.
what's this way?
Snack.
Snack?
Snack. We gotta get you to that
Uh.
toy room so that you can get the fox head. Oh yeah, you
Oh.
saw that?
There's a book here.
A
Huh?
book? Oh! I was looking at the skeleton. What
Oh,
does the book say?
Did you get it?
Yeah, broken window. Should I read it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Wait, Sniff needs to practice reading.
Oh, okay.
Have fun.
Sniff, your first lesson. Oh. First lesson, Sniff.
Read.
Read the book. Read the pages.
To staff,
Yeah? Good. I'm
I
assuming that's correct.
couldn't help but notice a draft in this, I don't know this word. It starts with a C. C-O-O-R
Corridor.
corridor.
Corridors,
and-
probably.
I located the source at this chipped window. I've gone ahead and reinstalled the pane. Kind regards, the butler.
So what are
So,
we supposed to do about it? He said he fixed it. What are we supposed to do?
I think it's just a message.
Oh, all
Let's
right.
steal it. Let's steal the message.
Wait. Can I see what it says, Sniff?
Sure.
Can I?
It's kind of ominous.
I located the source at this chipped window. I've gone ahead and reinstalled the pane. Wait, is this? Did one of our rats? Did one of us chip the window? By accident?
Maybe.
And
I
is
think
that just a
so.
message to show that they noticed?
Ooh, chest.
What's the point of this?
Spooky room. It never leaves anything for me. Ooh, stripped jungle wood, red concrete. They have hide in these chests. That doesn't feel right.
One of my fleas said we should break it again.
The window? I don't know.
No, break the window and take the note and just gaslight the butler into thinking he didn't fix it.
Oh.
Hey, this is the storage room. This is where I first showed up. Look, this is the cardboard box that I shipped myself in.
Oh,
I shipped
Oh,
myself
look at
here in
that.
a UPS box.
What's a UPS?
It's a delivery service company.
Oh.
I shipped myself here in one of these boxes, and this is where I woke up, and the door was closed. So I
This
was
room
just,
makes
like,
me
stuck there for a
anxious.
while.
Yeah.
Honestly, it made me anxious too. It's like an escape room, but there is no escape.
Oh, wow.
this room is
Maybe we should get some-
huge.
Let's go look at the kitchen. Maybe there's food again.
Kitchen.
Wait, do you guys see
for some
this?
More food. What?
Huh?
Oh yeah, I saw this, but there's a bunch of spider webs, and I'm too afraid to go in.
Oh yeah,
I
this
found
goes
this
up
on-
to the one room. I can show you guys.
I found this on
Oh,
my
wait,
first
wait,
day
I do
here,
see
and
this.
I thought it's probably bugs who live there.
I mean, I've got a sword, so I can always like hit the spider webs.
Ooh, yeah, we can clear that out, and you can get some.
I want to see. I need more stuff. I'm just gonna see if anyone's collected this chest yet. Birch button, how useful. There's another cage over there.
There are so many cages. Two of the cages are open now, and that makes me afraid for when all of them are open.
It
That's
seems like if we keep getting caught, maybe we'll just have more cages. I don't know. We should
that's
stop
kinda
getting caught.
scary. I still don't know where this mask thing came from. That's new.
It just looks like a piece of art.
Oh, I've never noticed it before until now. I'm suspicious.
I wonder if anyone's gotten. Oh, okay, that's.
Are you okay?
There's a person.
Oh. Yeah, that's the cook. She made breakfast sandwiches and coffee. It looks so delicious.
Well,
no.
I want to get.
No.
This is like my cabinet in the attic.
Come on, no. Ugh. I don't have enough stamina for this.
Oh, are we trying to get there?
I mean, I would like to, but.
Where did she go?
Oh, she's gone. Oh.
Oh.
Where?
Good.
Okay.
Good for us.
Let's go. Oh, come on.
Damn.
What's in there? Is it
Nothing.
taken?
Get up there?
Oh.
Nothing at all.
Oh, there's
Man.
nothing? Ah, shoot. What was that? Oh,
Ow. You get some food.
you scared. I'm
Where's the
out of food.
kitchen?
I gave my noodles.
Oh, do you need food?
I can't,
Here.
I can't run or anything, yeah.
There you go.
I realized something, that if you're an NA streamer, it's a lot harder to get the stuff here, so I feel like we should probably, like, have more.
That's why this was actually the first, like, quest or anything that I've done. I wanted to get on purposefully before the UK people got on.
That's fair.
Oh.
And I saw none of them were on today, so I'm like, thank God, this is my chance. I love all the food models, by the way. They all look how I want this right now, like in real life. Look at that.
Does anyone know where the pantry is?
I think it's closed right now.
Aw.
Isn't it usually one of these doors?
Yeah, it's usually open. It should have been open.
Was it
Yeah,
open when
I
we were
find
in
that
the-
I nap a lot when the other rats are doing stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, this looks so
Yeah.
good.
Pantries. I want to eat these. I want to eat these. Okay, she is coming this way. We will be good at the end of this table. However, she's not going to want to leave us now.
Try to find where I am.
I
Wait.
see you. Don't get me wrong.
Wait.
No, you don't.
Wait, where are you? Appa, where are you?
She's focused on you, so. No secret tunnels. Oh. Hey! Y'all,
Come join us in the chicken.
wait, but guys, I think I see a tunnel. Huh? Oh no. Where does this lead though? What the hell? Oh. I think that's a blue room over there. So if I can just get over there, I should be able to free Oppo. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Wait, which room? Lounge? Where is the lounge? Oh, come on. What on earth is a lounge? Bro. Where did I come out of? Oh, thank God. You got rescued. Okay, I'm heading back upstairs. I don't know how to spell attic. That's definitely not how you spell it, but that's okay. My rat doesn't know how to spell, so I think if I misspell something, it's okay. You gotta be freaking kidding me. You gotta be. Right where I want to be. Yes. Gosh, this is so exhausting. I really do not like living with a bunch of humans. Because this is just terrifying. This is just straight up terrifying. This is menacing. This is torture. Like, actually. He's right in front of the bathroom, too, that I need to take to get up to the attic. Keep walking, buddy. No, don't go into the bathroom.
Snifferish!
Oh, careful, 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 careful. There's a human over there.
Oh.
In a very short amount of time.
Wait, Sniff.
What? No, I'm getting safe first. Oh my God. I just wanted to go back to the attic. Is that so much to ask? You gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Oh, no Sneefy? Yeah, no Sneefy apparently. Apparently Sneefy dying. Apparently Sneefy's not having a good time. Apparently Sneefy doesn't know how to Sneefy. Man. Let's play How Many Times Does Sniff Get Caught? Yeah, that's a funny game. I like that game. It definitely isn't like I just get caught a bunch and then, yeah, it's not like... Man. Jump scare every time. Talk about a jump scare. Talk about a freaking jump scare. Talk about... And people wonder why I spend all of my time in the attic. Like, maybe it's because I can't walk for like 5 minutes without getting caught.
Looks like someone is in trouble. We are your lawyers. We are here to defend you. Don't you worry. We're going to defend you in court, and we're gonna get you out of here.
We're gonna get you out of here.
Please.
Don't you worry one bit.
Please.
Don't you worry. Okay, we're gonna go to
worry.
court. We'll be right back. We're gonna go
One
argue your
second.
case. Okay?
Yep.
Can you just...
See
Can you...
you later. We're
what-
going to court.
You're not just gonna
We're
let
going
me
to
out?
Let's go, Apple.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think
okay.
I don't think they deserve to get out.
What do you mean? We're their
I was-
lawyers. We have to defend them no matter what.
I was bribed by the other side, and
You're
the
bribed to-
humans say that we shouldn't let him out.
No, you should never accept bribes. That's unethical. You're going to get your license taken away. You'll be kicked off the bar.
I mean, it's just kind of a side hobby for me, so it's fine.
Wait, hold on. I need to put on my lawyer hat.
Listen,
we
I
must
say
defend
we just-
our
we just
client
don't-
within the fullest
No,
extent
no,
of
no,
our
we
abilities.
We really shouldn't. Oh. Wait.
We did it! We got you
Okay, yeah.
got you out.
After debating if my existence was worth it.
Listen, no, I was defending you. Appo's the one who was taking bribes.
You're supposed to- I thought you were my roommate.
Sniff, I have a gift for you.
No. You see, Oliver was the one taking bribes. I freed you. You can see it. You can see it happen.
Sniff, don't listen to Appo. I have a gift
I'm
for
messing
you.
with you.
A gift for you. Join
Join us.
The hat crew. You're a fox.
I'm
Look at you
Foxy.
go. You're Foxy.
Oh,
You're
no,
Chica.
not FNAF. No.
No.
Having said that, I have no food.
Don't make
Yeah,
me
let's
go
head back to
into
the
my
attic. Let's
FNAF
head back to the
phase,
attic.
bro.
Let's head back. Yeah. Let's go.
There's
hat
food there,
gang,
there's
hat
food
gang,
there.
Hat gang. I will just walk
Boom.
slowly behind you guys, okay?
Oh wait, here,
I'll
you can
be
have
just-
some food for now.
Wait, can we all
Thank
walk
you.
slowly in a line, please? I feel like
What?
that'd be cool.
In a line?
In
How
a
about you?
line.
I'll hold on to your tail, Appo.
No,
I'll be in the
side
back.
by side. I
Oh,
wanna just, like,
I
see
thought
us
you
all
meant like
lined
let's all
together.
hold on.
No, we gotta walk.
Go on
Okay,
a choo-choo train.
3, 2, 1, walk.
Oh.
Oh wait, I
Oh.
realized that I'm really short, so you guys go faster.
Yeah,
than me.
we all go.
Yeah,
well,
we
I'm the
all
same
go
height as you.
faster. Well,
Sniff.
also-
Okay, whatever. Let's take a screenshot.
Look,
Oh,
look.
screenshot, okay.
Wait.
Wait, Sniff should be in the middle because Sniff is the tallest. There
True.
we go.
I got the okay. Sorry. Alright, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, wait.
Okay.
Wait. I have a question. Wait. Before you take the screenshot, can I hold a knife?
What?
I'll hold a bell.
I want a knife in my screenshot.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. I'm a frog with a knife. Let's go.
Let's go. Woo.
Alright, let's go to the basement. Wait, one sec, check.
Basement.
Attic.
Basement, attic. I'm tired, okay? You said,
They're
ain't
very
nothing gonna break
they're
my
very
stride.
similar, it's okay.
Ain't nothing gonna slow me down.
down.
Oh,
I
no.
got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. And ready to touchdown. No. Oh my god, that's a person. Okay.
Okay, yeah, now we're running.
Yeah, but you're
Uh-oh.
here,
Now
guys.
strangers pass.
Moving.
Hey, guys,
Hopping.
I have a
would hate
question.
To be snatched. Yes.
Huh?
would you still love me if I was a rat?
Yes.
Of course, Sniff.
We would love you no matter
Or
what
rat.
you were.
Thank you. I've just been thinking about
Would you-
that.
It's okay.
Would
it's
you
okay,
would you
Foxy.
love me if I were a rat and not a frog?
Yes.
Would you love me if I was a rat and not a quack?
No.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah?
oh. You even closed the door on me. I see how it is, Sniffer Rat.
Sorry, I'm not a rat.
No,
Sorry,
you're
Sniffer
I'm
Fox.
Foxy. Come on.
Foxerish or Sniff?
Foxerish? I kind of like Foxerish. That's like
Sniffer Fox.
Sniff
What's
Fox.
the fox version of your name? Sniff
Sniffoxy.
Foxerish.
I think I'm just Sniff.
Oh,
Sniff.
I was gonna. What if you're just Foxy from FNAF?
I'm Foxy from FNAF.
Oh
What's
my
that?
God.
Hello,
I
my
can't
name is
believe-
Foxy from FNAF.
Why can't I
believe
stop-
Foxy from FNAF is in the RatsSMP. Oh
Oh
my
my-
god.
Hey guys,
can't
new
believe Chica
member
from FNAF.
announcement.
New member announcement. I'll make sure
Yeah,
to
so
post it
there's
on Twitter
communal
tomorrow.
food here.
I have
that's
taken
fun.
pork
I
chops.
have taken
Guys, do you guys know Lizzie? Lizzie
Yeah.
Rat. Liz.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you know Lizzie killed a pig?
What?
Oh, really?
Liz
Where
went
did she find
outside
a
and
pig?
Killed a pig.
She's
Liz
from-
went outside, saw a pig, and killed
What?
it.
That's actually
Liz
wild.
is a hunter.
How did she get outside?
I don't know.
Probably
I
has
just
her
heard
ways.
tales of her ventures.
I'm kind of jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like I want to go on. We should all go on a hunting
I want to go outside.
trip. Yeah,
I
wait,
miss
Sniff,
outside.
You're from the woods, so you can
Yeah.
show us. I've never been to the woods really. I just picked up this leaf on my
Well, you
head
could
when
show
I
us the
was.
woods.
I've never actually been into the woods before. I've lived in an office my whole life. I want to see plants. I want to see a mushroom.
Plants would be cool.
Oh, I love mushrooms. They're my
core.
favorite
I
food.
want to. I want to see cottage core, but in real life.
Wait, one sec.
Don't worry, I'll make hunting licenses for us. That way it will be legal.
Sorry.
Oh, I have things in the. Oh, you're
Okay,
good.
okay.
Oh, let me put the broken window thingy in the chest box.
Yeah.
Chest box.
And then
All
I think I'm gonna work on home a bit. Wait, Appa, where have you been living?
I don't have a proper home yet. I've been so distracted by everybody that I have like a little hole dug out, and that's kind of it.
But you have a great
Nice.
staircase.
I have a big staircase. Yeah, I need to
have a
make a
really
proper home
good-looking-
eventually.
I have a good staircase too. Akko made it.
Yeah.
I built
I heard
nothing.
that
don't
he
know how to
destroyed
do
it and then had to remake it.
He destroyed it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Did
Oh
he really?
no.
Oh my god.
He's trying his best.
Yeah.
He's
I
doing.
kind of
He's,
want to
can-
like move my house though. Honestly, it's
You
kind of
you could be our neighbor. We could
But
start a
I'm a
little
good
rat
neighbor.
neighborhood.
Apple
Like come
was
here, come here,
there.
come
rat
here.
neighborhood.
Can we be the American rat neighborhood?
We could.
So like if you live in like in if you live in this
Oh.
this wall right here, because we live in this wall and we expanded
Yeah.
this way. But if you lived in this
Okay.
wall, then yeah.
Kinda like that.
Neighbors.
The American rat neighborhood, right? Olive.
Or you could live in the
Over.
furnace, like yeah.
Okay. I
Hot.
think Lizzie might have tried moving here.
Or
Oh.
whatever this is. This big
Either here or Lizzie went
thing.
in a different furnace. I'm not sure.
big
Oh, this
thing.
could be
I
a
don't
good
know.
like carve it out into something.
yeah.
I think
It's
there's
got
definitely plenty of
potential.
space to work with.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll move in with you guys. Why not?
Yeah.
You guys.
Neighborhood. Oh,
Cool.
I have 2 brown banners too.
Because I keep
What-
telling
what is
everyone
this?
I like living near people, and then like yeah.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh wait. Should I put these near the courthouse maybe?
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah, let me go put that in courthouse.
What is it,
So, Sniff,
Appo?
oh, the candles. Ooh.
Do you
This is
like
really
do you
cool,
like the
Sniff.
house?
You're really cool.
This
What?
Is very, very nice.
Oh, stop! You're making me blush. You're making me rat flush. Oh,
First rat that knows all about the forest.
What do
and
you
can
mean
also
rat blush? You're a
build.
fox.
You're
What?
fox
No.
blushing.
Yeah.
I placed a book. I just like how the light comes in here. It's very pretty.
It is very pretty. Wait, Sniff, why don't you add another chair and this can be our office?
Well, I don't know. I was just like worried about. I didn't want to invade on your space.
But you built it. This is your space. I'm the roommate. This is your place, though.
Do you like the
Oh,
door?
you can have like a little dining room set like on the side of this.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking there's so much stuff I want to make that I'm mostly trying to think about furniture, but I need to move these barrels or like the contents of these barrels somewhere for
You
now.
could have like a barrel
Oh,
wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
we do have the barrel wall in the office, so we can do another one maybe somewhere.
yeah, I just don't know where. I mean, I could literally put it like right here, I guess, but
You can
Oh,
make
and
the
then Sniff,
flooring.
You know what I was thinking? Scott, the farmer rat, has a garden going on. What if we made a garden out here, like on the balcony?
I was thinking about that
But
actually.
instead of like food, we can just do like flowers.
Well, I mean, I'd like food.
Oh, we can also do. I just don't want to infringe on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Hey,
fair.
Hey, question.
What
Are
if
we
you
allowed-
made? Huh?
Hmm?
Are we allowed to go down out here if we?
I haven't found a way
Wait, is that
out
a
there
no or
yet
yes?
from the main
No?
house.
We're not?
No, don't go there.
Don't go
Don't
there.
go
But
there.
look, there's mushrooms.
No.
Look,
No,
cottage
like-
I mean,
core.
I
like-
found
like,
I found
seriously?
mushrooms, but like outside of there, or not in there. I don't know. I'm worried that if we fall, it would not be good.
Yeah, it
We
wouldn't
would
be good
die.
at all.
Yeah. Also, there's a guy that walks around outside.
Yeah,
The
he's
gardener.
scared.
I've
It
heard
wouldn't be
tales
good
of
if
the
we fell.
gardener.
Ugh.
It
I do not
genuinely
like
looks so pretty,
people.
though. We have such a good view from up here. Look at the willow.
I
tree.
know. I like looking at it from inside out the window. Like, ooh,
Ooh.
ooh. I'm just trying making some furniture. I feel
Is
like
there anything you would like me to do to assist you, Sniff?
I feel like we need to move our stuff.
Would you like me to do manual service for you and like?
Would you be
move
willing
all
to
things
move the stuff into the storage in the office?
in the office? Yes, I got you. I'll do manual
Yeah,
labor.
that way I
got
can.
you.
That way I can. Yeah, I can finish this wall off, and then this room will be done.
Okay. Are
You
you
having
gonna
fun,
do,
Oppo?
I'm on a lantern. I love this
Oh.
so much.
You're swinging from the chandelier.
Oh wait, here. Take
You
this
say? Ooh,
blue.
The blue light looks so cool, by the way. Oh,
I would
don't
hang
know-
it up, but I need the light. I cannot see
It's
very
okay.
well.
The orange light glows more. I don't think you see the blue light glow except from your own POV.
Yeah.
I see.
Appo, sing that Wrecking Ball song.
I came in like a ratting ball.
Oh no, no, no!
Bum, bum, bum,
I will be building if anyone needs me. I'll pretend that this
Now
is
my
not
webcam has
happening.
died. Give me 1 second, please.
Wait. What type of furniture do I make? What furniture do people have?
I don't know. People have
Couch,
furniture.
couch,
I just
ooh, couch for sitting our little rat butts down on a couch. A
Wait.
little buffet bar table.
A little
couch.
couch?
Couch.
Okay, wait. Let me see if I can. What should I use for cushion? Like maybe just wool?
Ooh, hey, what if you use like the green wool?
never ask.
I don't know if the-
I don't
the-
know. You're
the green-
you're the interior designer. You choose.
I just don't know if the green wool is gonna look that good with the purple.
God, how do you build? You're so fast. You're so fast. You're so quick.
I fell under your tail.
Yeah,
And
Oppo.
No one could deny.
Thank you for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it.
You're doing really good.
Thank you.
Okay, wait. I gotta destroy some white wool out here.
Sniff, quick question. How long are you streaming for? Are you just gonna build?
Yeah, I was gonna build.
I'm gonna give you fleas.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna give you fleas too.
You're gonna get so many fleas.
Oh,
So many
okay.
fleas, all the fleas. Are we fleeing? Are we sending all of our fleas over?
Yeah, I'm
we-
sending my
are we-
fleas over.
And then we flee. We're fleeing.
I'll be
Very-
right back, everyone. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna come
One
skedaddle
second.
to the courthouse.
Wait, does this couch look good? I can't tell. New fleas? New fleas? See, like, I don't know if this is where I want to have... Like, should I put... Because I was thinking about putting something here, but I just don't know if this is like the... Oh, wait. You know what? I'm actually gonna get rid of this, because you know what I think we discussed with chat was... Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized that I'm talking out loud. I think I was thinking about doing a bookshelf, like, under the stairs. Like, you know? So maybe I'll do... I'm gonna stick with that instead. Of course, that means I need to carve it out. I could also make... can make a room under the stairs. Okay, wait. And then... How's this? And then I'm thinking, like, wait, let me make sure I've got the stripped oak. Oh, no, it's not in that mode. Like, I think we talked about doing a bookshelf here. So I'm gonna do that. Maybe we'll do this deep. I probably don't need this many, like, kitchen under the stairs. Ooh, that could be interesting. I think I want to have, like, a separate room for the kitchen. Because I'm probably gonna put it against that wall over there. Yo, thank you so much, Oppo. Thank you so much, Oppo, for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bathroom under the stairs? Do rats need bathrooms? Don't we just poop? What do I don't know if rats need bathrooms, guys. I think the idea of a bookshelf is cute. We have too many. Hello. Okay. Nice. Okay. Clean rats? I guess so. I guess we are more cleanly rats than most. So yeah, I was planning on just... Hello? Hello?
Harry Potter cupboard underneath the staircase.
Okay. I don't know what that... Sure? I'm just making a shelf. Ooh. I was gonna make a little rat fireplace, even though I don't think it'd be a smart idea to have, like, a fire in this home. But, you know. But look, I think that this is cute, if you ask me. Look at this. You should put a teacup with a little piece of cheese. I'm still thinking about making myself a teacup bed. I think that would be so cute. Now that I actually have... Yo, thank you so much. Wait, I gotta mute. Thank you so much for the Prime. I appreciate it. See, I'm thinking that now that I have all of these different wools, I can, like, take them apart and actually, like, make some books. Because that's the thing is I was waiting until I had, like, a bunch of different colors before, I, like, you know, started ripping wool apart for books. Oh god, I've got so much in my inventory right now. I don't know if Olive's coming back or not. Okay, let me lay this out. And then I'm just gonna destroy it all. It's gonna go bye-bye. And then I'm gonna turn it into a bookshelf. Okay, so there's that gone. And then we do this. You guys really do want a thing, something under here, but I don't really have a good, there's not a good amount of space, see, because it's so thin. So that's why I decided against doing like a book, like something that's not a bookshelf there. Okay, so here, let me line up all of my different colors that I've got. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. So let me line up all my different colors here. Oh. I keep forgetting how glitchy this freaking mod is sometimes. Oh my god. Now I have to repair it all? Are you kidding me? Okay, it's fine. I'm not sad or anything. I just have to make sure it's on draw region. That's the only way that it actually works. So now we got our little books. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, thank you so much for the 10 bits. Maybe I could probably make some books bigger than others, but... And then I'm gonna just like try and add a little bit more random variation in here. So like, wait. We'll do some thick boys. Some thick books. Here, and then I'll make some of these larger. There we go. That looks like it has a little bit more variety to it. I also think I have some red wool in here somewhere. Do I? I thought I had red wool. I guess I don't. You didn't get the pink wool down? Oh. You're right. I feel like I have red wool somewhere. Yeah. I've got red wool right here. So here, let me do the red wool and the pink wool real quick. There we go. And now I have red and pink. And that should do us some good as far as more color. And then make sure that this is in draw region. I keep breaking things and it's very tragic. Oh, this is so cute. Look at all the little books. Ah! Okay. I'm just gonna add purple here and blue here. You know, since it's just us now, if you guys would love, like, I wouldn't mind talking about, you know, rat lore and stuff like that. Because I feel like there are some people who aren't entirely caught up on the thing, which is totally fine. You never have to, it's not an expectation that you're caught up on Minecraft server lore. But, you know, if you guys have any questions about RatsSMP, the character, you're welcome to ask them. I like questions. I like answering questions. Yep. You can put little knickknacks on the shelves. I definitely am going to. Yeah. What if gold stripes over the books? So the only thing I have with that is I don't have very much yellow. I don't even think I have any yellow. Please explain the lore. I've been at school. So basically, I mean, I would definitely recommend watching the VODs, of course. But basically, it's like we're just a bunch of rats and we live in a giant house and it's super cool. However, you know, they're the humans that do not like us here. Big uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Why do I keep doing that? I keep forgetting that it... Here, I'm just seeing if I can add like the little stripes. This is cute. So far, like, everyone kind of has their own characters, which I really like. I think my character is like a wood rat that used to live in like in a giant family where they felt like they weren't really important because they were in such a large family, and so they left, and that's when they came upon this house, which is where all these other rats are, and that's super cool. Hello, olive raiders. Hello, hello, hello. I was talking rat lore. I was explaining because there's some people in my chat who are very unfamiliar with the RatsSMP, but would like to become more familiar with it. So I was just going off about that because I like it. Meanwhile, I'm doing the most important task ever, which is filling the library with books. It definitely isn't tedious, and it definitely isn't going to take me forever. It's fine. Okay, wait, and then maybe we'll do another red one. There's one shelf. Here, I'm gonna see if I can break it up a little bit by adding some of the, like, extended books. Yeah. How many lives do you have? You have 3 lives, I believe. And the thing is, it's gonna get more and more intense over time. Because, from my understanding, the humans are gonna slowly get more aggressive. And there's also going to be cats. If that wasn't very obvious yet from the cat towers and things of such as that. Sif, I love the accessories. Thank you. I bought them very recently, and I was like, I want to be a silly little guy with some butterfly clips in my hair. I've also just been kind of taking the opportunity of streaming to, like, get randomly fancy. Sif, I just joined for a really stressful day. Thanks for being here. No problem, homie. Gladly. I'm having a good time. I really love this SMP, and I really love exploring. The only thing that is slightly sad is a lot of the people who are on the SMP are British, and I am not British, believe it or not, despite the fact that everyone seems to think I'm British. Will rats die instantly if caught by cats? So my understanding is that the cats are not going to be NPCs, but played by actual people, and because of that, there can be dialogue with them. And potentially negotiations. It already looks so good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just filling the bookshelves. You know how it is. Gotta make sure that Rat Olive has some books to read. Even though it's, like I said, very tedious. But it's so cute. Are the books coloring books? I need to know. Your stuff is so pretty. You know, considering that my character cannot read, I would assume that some of these would be coloring books. Here, I'm gonna leave it half full for now. I kind of want it to fill up over time with random blocks that I find. That way it's like, you know, it's like they slowly are finding books and then filling them. And then I wanted to get some terracotta, because I like to make little potted plants. I think it's very cute. But I honestly just use green wool because at this size, the leaves don't really work. I don't know if that makes any sense. They just don't look good. They like look weird. They look invisible. So I just kind of do this. It looks like little lumps, but it's fine. It works. The little plants. Oh, I really ought to get some more, like, wait, here. Actually, I think I have some glass. That's not what I meant to do. I do have some glass, so I can make like a little cup or like vase or something. I don't know. I almost said vase. Who says vase? Should not be me. I should not be saying vase. That makes me sound way more fancy than I am. Okay, and then I'm gonna pop up here, make it look like a little... Oh, it's so cute. There you go. There's your little vase in there. Get some knickknacks, stuff like that. Oh, wait, now that I have more colors too, I could probably create more like wall paintings. Obviously, it's really hard to make like super detailed paintings because we're... Oh, Olive is back. Obviously, it's really hard to make like super detailed paintings because you are dealing with little tiny chiseled bits. I'm gonna try. Maybe I could do like a little flower. Try and make it look like the Minecraft flower. I think that's so cute. Okay, wait. And then I'm gonna put white wool on the rest. Sif says vase really not beating the British allegations. Look, I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard. Here, I'm gonna... And then draw a region. Make sure I do that. Oh my god! Look at how cute it is! It's just a little picture frame! Oh my god! Okay, wait, the white is a little stark. Thank you so much for the 45 bits. Martin made a really cute rat painting at the bar. Oh my god, I should go check out the bar. Chat, if you... Okay, so everyone's making a bunch of different stuff. And Martin is making a little rat bar, which I think is so cute. Hello, Rat Olive.
Barrel removal service.
Are you okay if I talk out loud? Or do you want me to mute?
No, you can talk out loud.
You
Let me
could
hear you talk to your fleas.
Oh. Oh my god, wouldn't it be so cute if we like when they let you talk to your fleas in front of them?
Don't you love it when they let you talk to your fleas?
And look at the little painting that I made.
That is so cute. God, you're really having fun with this chisel and bit stuff. Holy shoot, this is like your bread and butter.
Have you never seen my other builds?
I've seen your builds, but I didn't know that this is what you used to like get
Oh,
these shapes.
yeah. I'm gonna make like a little landscape.
Oh my god, please do.
It's gonna be really basic. I can't really
you don't
do
know
much.
How happy this makes me to just like be in here. It's like a little dollhouse.
I know, it's so
Rat house.
cute. Rat house. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
I'll organize our chests and I'll...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah,
I'm a very unorganized person, so...
Honestly, me too, but I'm willing to put in the effort.
I'm just saying I apologize if they ever get unorganized. I apologize.
Don't worry. No. You do it. It'll give me something to do to fix it.
Does your rat like pottery? Ooh. I like human pottery. Like I don't think my rat makes pottery, but like I want to sleep in a teacup.
That tea kettle that we found.
I know. I want to like make a teacup though, like and then like make it the bed.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
I know. It's so cute.
If you need any like plant pots, I did snag some plant pots.
Yeah, they're just hard to place in here because like the chiseled bits. But I do think that we should put them outside of our house for sure.
Oh, agreed.
I'm trying to think about like furniture that I can make that like looks like tiny stuff. Does that make sense?
Ooh.
You know?
That does make sense. Yeah.
Like,
let me
oh wait! I got an idea. So like for example, this is an idea I was thinking about.
Have you seen The Secret World of Arietti?
Yes. Of course, that's like one of my favorite films.
The design for it and like what they did.
So like here, like this could be like a table that's made from a spool of yarn.
You are so smart. Oh my god, yes.
And then wait, I'll like make the yarn like come out a little bit.
Oh, it's like a spool of thread. That is
some thread.
Absolutely.
And then I'll put like a little like pot on here. So it's got a little potted plant on it.
Oh my god. Why can't I live here IRL, huh?
Oh wait, someone wants to see my rat skin? I gotta take off my
your fox head.
I've got the fox head on. I'm like trying to, yeah. Little spool of thread. This is so cute. Oh my god.
Is adorable.
I'm like even impressed with that. I mean, I've never built at this scale, so. Okay, what other things can I do? I need to add windowsills, that's for sure. I was thinking about making like a little rat rug too.
Like out of a rat skin?
No. Oh wait, somebody said, what about a teacup bath? That's so smart.
Oh yeah. Wait, do you want the teacup bath? Wait, do we have a bathroom?
No, I haven't built one yet.
I'm gonna say we have like outdoor bath.
Oh my
Bath with a
god.
view.
Bath with a view. I could put it like over here so that I can have like a really big window. Do you plan on getting glass for your windows? Okay, so the reason why, and this is for you too, all the reason why I haven't put glass in the windows is because it makes them like cloudy. Does that make sense?
Like to be able to look, I can go in and out of the windows.
Okay, well that's why I have like the open window over here.
I legitimately, I was not kidding when I say I crawl in through this window. I come from Eloise's side and I just like that.
Cotton ball pillows. Oh my gosh, my fleas are so smart.
The fleas are honestly the brain cells here. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
I don't have any brain cells. It's just me and my fleas for real.
We are all very reliant.
Okay, wait.
Where did you
Let me make
guys
like
get
a little
these
bench.
economy nets?
I don't know. I found it in like a. I literally found it in a frick.
Where did you get obsidian?
I found it in a chest.
Dang, y'all went exploring. I think I was just too busy being lost.
I mean, I try to go exploring as much as I can.
Fantastic idea. Look at all the blocks that you got.
Well, I can only go exploring when people are. The only thing is, I can only go exploring when people are on.
Oh yeah, because if you get caught, you're screwed.
Yeah. So I like.
Not be good.
So I tried to do like a lot of exploring at once because, yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna make
Oh, the chests are gonna be so organized.
making a little couch now.
Do you want me to smelt this raw iron?
Oh yeah, that's also something that I found while exploring.
This.
Me and the little tiny couch. It's so wee. It's so tiny.
Oh.
Wait, yeah. It's so cute.
That is really cute. Come sit with me. Oh.
I might be a little bit too thick for this couch. Maybe I should make it just a bit bigger.
Look at us. Oh, that's adorable.
I know. I think I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. Because it is a little bit small for me.
Large couch. Large couch.
I am a chubby wood rat and I'm proud of my chubby wood ratness.
I love the fact that we have different sizes.
Yeah, I think it's really
It's
cool.
like just a great small addition.
Okay, I'm gonna use dark oak, I think. And I'm gonna make this couch thick. Plus, I mean, if it's a thick couch, it'll have room for our friends, which is important.
Very, very true point.
I'm trying to think about what color I should make it. Maybe I'll make a green couch. What do you guys think? It's like you stole little dollhouse pieces? Yeah. I think that there should... I'm curious if there's a dollhouse in this.
Ooh. There should be.
Hmm. I'm gonna make it come out just a bit more. I like long couches. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make it a little higher. That's what I'm gonna do. That's not what I meant to do. Actually, you know what? Maybe there's something to this. Two-tone wood.
These 2 barrels have been cleared out.
Yay. Okay. And then maybe I make this taller. Ah, actually, yeah, that doesn't look that bad. And then I'll round it out a bit. It looks silly.
Oh.
This looks more appropriately sized.
Hey, green couch.
I don't know, I just thought to myself, green couch. So since it looks like a frog.
Oh, you're right. They look like 2 tiny frogs.
It is a frog couch. A frog. Wait, here, I can do tiny bits for the eyes. Wait, did I make this? Oh, wait. And then, I have pink? Wait.
I'll put it like on the white cushion.
Yeah. Okay, do like, oh, wait. I can make it look like there's a pink blanket on it, maybe. I don't know if that looks stupid.
If you have it like spill out a little bit, it's just like a really long tongue.
Yeah.
Does it come across? I think it does come across.
It looks like a frog to me. It looks like a frog.
Here, you can use this as a reference.
Oh. Wait. Maybe if I... I think it works.
This is gonna be the cutest house. Scott's
I
gonna
know.
be so mad when he comes in here.
Wait, why?
Because Scott will like use the chisel and bits for like a really long time, but only get like the ceiling done.
Oh yeah. I'm just quick with it.
You're really fast.
Wait, here. What color rug should we have?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say area rug.
Wait, here, let me look at the different bits I got. I could do like... I'm trying to see what... Make a plant leaf as a blanket for your bed. Oh. Someone said blue. I have like cyan. I'll do cyan. It's gonna be really bright. Oh, okay. And then here I'll add like little details. Oop. Oopsies. Little rat rug. Oh my god. It's so cute.
Oh yeah.
It's so cute. Wait. I'm gonna take some spruce wood and then like cut out some bits and make it look like it's a little ripped. Just cause, I don't know. Just makes sense.
I just had an idea.
What?
What if like using bits to do like string lights pattern?
Yeah. I could do that. I've done that before.
Oh, string light. Oh. Bro, we're living it up. Oh my god.
Yeah, we are living it up for real.
We are. Jeez.
We got the luxury apartment. The luxury. Someone says it looks like poo. No!
No, wait, let me see. No. No, poo would be darker.
You know what? We don't have a bathroom yet, so it's fine. It makes sense.
Yeah, we're not failing RP. We're playing entire characters. It is poop.
Wait,
you know
here.
What? Sure.
I'm putting this here. Now it looks like you've got paper on your desk.
You genius.
I know. We're so good at this. It's cookie crumbles.
Hey, Sniff,
this
if the humans like really do notice us and it doesn't matter, we will steal you a rock.
Yeah.
Those crystals from earlier.
Oh, those crystals from earlier. I do think about those. Wait, do you have a pot? Do you have a pot? A plant pot?
Oh, I do have a pot, yeah.
Can I see it?
Yes. Are you asking me for pot?
Yes.
Here, take the pot.
There is something I wanted to check out. Look at this. This is the thing I stole earlier.
Can we put it in like this corner?
Yeah. I think we can. Oh! That's so cute!
Wait, if we get like a second one to put here on this side?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Here, I'll go get another pot. I'll be right
Also,
back.
chat, I don't know if we're gonna leave the big candles on the floor. We're just letting it be right now. I kind of want to make, do I have any, like, silver bits or, like, cobblestone? I'm trying to think about interesting decorations. I think it'd be really funny if we just had a spoon on the wall. Where are the blocks? Yeah, okay, wait, if I take this this cobblestone, and then I'm gonna chisel it. And then I'm just gonna literally make a spoon on the wall. The ultimate decor. Spoon. Wait. It is a spoon. Yeah, you know, make it look like it's like on a little hook. Olive, do you like our best wall decor? It's a spoon.
Yes.
It's just a
Yes.
spoon.
I like it. I like it a lot. That's a nice.
I was just trying to think about, like, what if I was a rat?
I
What?
was thinking if you did extend it this way and added prongs, it could look like a key.
Oh wait, I kind of like that. Wait, I had
What a cute little addition. Oh my goodness. My little rat heart. I'm gonna have a heart attack. That's how cute it is.
it is a little key now.
Yeah, it's a little key now.
We just found it. What's upstairs? There's nothing upstairs
Snip,
yet.
I did a potted plant bit, but it didn't turn into a tree. It's just this.
Yeah, it's only certain things. However,
We can
wait.
always steal another tree and replace
There
it
was
with
a-
blue flower, and they'll never know.
Here. I know that the spruce turns into something. Look at this one.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
really neat. Heck yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think about what should I use for the light, like string? I'm gonna use the cobbles or the obsidian. I just, you know what? It's fine. I don't think I'm gonna use it for anything else. I'm just gonna make it like purposely uneven because I feel like that's what makes it look
'Cause
more
we're
realistic.
rats.
Yeah, we're not hanging our like stuff correctly.
Nah.
Our little fairy lights, our rat fairy lights. How would we even find? I guess I'm trying to think about what like the rat size fairy lights. It'd be like the little LEDs.
Gamer lights. Let's get those gaming light strips. and
gamer
have a rave
lights?
party in here. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yo, where's my gamer lights? Okay. And then I'm gonna... This is gonna be hard to do, but... Basically what I'm doing is I'm making it look like we hung it like right here. Okay, wait, I'm gonna need... It's complicated. It's hard.
You're doing fantastic.
I need the scaffolding right here. Yeah, there we go. Now I can reach it so much better. Oh. Okay, wait. The absolute concentration. That's another thing. That's why I did so much building off camera recently, because it's so hard to concentrate and build at the same time. Like, it's so hard to concentrate on chat while building. Okay. Then we gotta continue it. This is...
I'm like studying as I watch you. I'm learning how you do it.
I don't know how I do it. That's the hard part about all of this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it wrap around, like it's gonna wrap around here. I'm gonna break this. Oh,
Oh,
the
I got something
FPS.
in my hand.
There's no way I can make them like give light, unfortunately. But
We can pretend.
we can pretend.
We will role play.
Look at how cute they are. Okay, and then I'm gonna take glass, and then I'm gonna attach the like this.
Yes.
Oh my god, we have such a little cute rat house. Yeah, so chat, the glowstone doesn't, like, you can use glowstone bits, but it just doesn't work like that. Like, it doesn't glow.
Same for sea glass.
Yeah. We've all tried.
We've tried.
But it's okay. I think that this has the same effect. I love causing everyone FPS drops with my chisel and bitten.
Oh, is that what happens?
Sometimes. But it's so cute.
It is really cute, Sniff. Oh my goodness.
We have a good home. This is good.
Ooh, I fell out of the window.
Oh.
I'm fine. There was a ledge.
Wait, here, I gotta put all my... It's hard to keep track of all my bits. You know?
Do you need another bit bag?
No, my bit bag holds plenty. It's just like, I forget to put them back in the bit bag when I'm done, you know?
New York City apartment is what we got.
Is that what everyone's saying? I think this is a lot nicer than it.
$4,000 a second.
Yeah, literally. This is so adorable. I can't thank you.
Up in here.
I need to do this wall now. I was thinking about adding a little rat fireplace against this wall. I just think it'd be really cute. Yeah, thank you for the prime, Grape Man. Yeah, let me get the stuff to finish this wall right here. This room will then finally be complete for once. Wait, negative B. Silly Sniff. Doing silly Sniff stuff. Oh wait, that is the... okay. And I need spruce planks. Not the glitch. Not the glitching. Yeah, I find that, using, using like the single bit on this is really bad, and it tends to glitch out more when you do that. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like you kind of have to exclusively stick to draw region. Otherwise it like tends to mess up and glitch a lot.
I feel like I'm watching like a speed paint.
I don't think I'm going that fast, am I?
You're going so fast. This would take me years.
What? Okay, wait. Do I have the... Oh, I do have more of this. Perfect. Okay, wait. Draw region. I'm a wallpaper guy. I can do the wallpaper. Here, I gotta get more scaffolding because my little rat body can't reach up there.
You're too tiny.
I am too tiny. I'm just a little guy.
Dude, I'm so glad they gave us chisel and bits.
I know.
Like,
Our
this
houses would
really
be
lets
so
you get creative.
so boring without it.
Oh, they would, yeah.
Okay, wait, and then break this. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Okay, and then I need to get up there again. I cannot reach. Oh, this is so hard. I'm like trying to do the wall bit and I can't because I can't reach like half the stuff.
We need taller rats.
I need to be the tallest rat alive so that I can build. Here, the scaffolding is so helpful too. Because like I said, you cannot reach things without it.
You're a tiny rat.
Okay. And then... Nice. Just doing the edge trim. Okay, and then last but not least. Oh, I did that wrong. That's fine. Mistakes happen. Happy little accidents, right?
Bob Rat.
I am Bob Rat. Nice to meet
Bob
you.
Rat.
Oh my god. Me when I am Bob Rat. Okay. Yay! This wall is done.
Woo!
And then let me get a spruce plank bit, and then I will just fix the floor
I feel
right
like
here.
You're in a shoebox, like a really fancy shoebox.
A fancy shoebox.
Yeah.
I like how over here is like the only corner that's decorated. Over here is just so barren.
It's just.
I wanna make like a little rat gallery of art.
Or of things you've stolen.
Yeah,
canonically,
yeah. Oh my god.
You know?
That's
That's
such a good idea.
Your collection wall.
My collection wall.
What if it's like a giant shelf, floor to ceiling? Full
Yeah. Full of
all of
stuff
your
that we've
knickknacks.
stolen. I mean, my rat is canonically a kleptomaniac, so
Would you have to make it out of bits, or would you like actually place the object? No, that's really.
I think I'd
cool.
make it out of bits because the objects themselves are huge.
They're really large, yeah.
Yeah. But this is so good. I'm so happy now that we finally got, like, it looks more finished now. Oh, wait.
Oh.
I gotta make the door.
That door.
The door.
I'm gonna head out to go make some food.
That's okay. I'm probably gonna end soon anyways, so...
This is. I'm so glad we're roommates. It's so fun. Simply living in this house that
It is better to live with other people. That's all I'm saying.
This is really fun. I love it.
Plus, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't really like to build unless it's for other people.
Well, you have made me a whole office, which I genuinely wish I had in real life. It's so cool.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay.
Let's make a rat streaming setup.
Rat streaming setup. Oh my god.
Gamer PC.
Actually, that's so.
We should just make like a secret corner in the attic, and you enter, and it's just full of modern gaming stuff.
Yes, that's so
And
funny.
don't tell anyone else about it until they start.
And they just find it, and they're like, "What is this?" I'm adding little doorknobs. I'm just making it look like the door is just open.
I like that. It's constantly open. Wait, Sniff.
Yeah.
What if we had like at the base of the stairs a welcome
A little
mat?
welcome mat.
A little welcome mat on the ground.
I have no idea how to make that, but yeah. Wait, here, it'll just be a square. That's what I'll do.
Yeah,
It'll just be like a little
rectangle.
a little
Perfect.
Wait, and then
Oh, you can't. It would be really hard to write on it, wouldn't it?
why is this so glitchy? Here, I'm just using 2 tones of wood. There we go. This is so silly. Wait. Olive, before you leave, can you come pose so I can take a screenshot?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, just like go over there. Like I don't know, just like here, and then I'll wait. I'm gonna. Okay, thank you.
Of course.
All right,
of course.
I'm gonna go Ed because I gotta make myself dinner too.
Oh, we're both gonna be eaten.
Eating
Goodbye,
boys.
please.
Bye.
Goodbye, Sniff.
Bye, Olive. Everyone say bye, Olive. Okay, chat. I'm not gonna lie. This was such a fun time. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. I've really been enjoying streaming lately, and I'm really happy that you guys all tuned in today to watch me play this game. I will try to be live either tomorrow or I don't think I'm gonna be live on Friday, but I'm live on the weekends. So I'm gonna try to do some early streams this weekend for my European slash just basically anyone who's not from America. Wait here, let me disconnect and then I'll do camera close. If you aren't following, make sure that you're following so that you can get updates on when I am streaming. I'd also recommend making sure that you got that little bell notification on that tells you like, ooh, I heard myself. Make sure you got that like little bell notification on that like really tells you like, OMG guys, Snifferish is streaming. That's so crazy. That's so cool. Also on Saturday, I'll probably like 11 EST. I'm not really sure about that yet. Okay, well, I'll go bye now. You guys have an amazing day.